Hey guys, it is time to go on to the next page in the packet. We are now on page 7. So just like all of the other videos, I'm going to do the first two problems, usually the first page of the packet, and then you guys are going to do the second page. So today we are doing understanding multiplication with negative integers. Our objective for today is students will be able to multiply negative integers fluidly. Fluidly means you can just do it multiple times and you can do it without trouble. So basically, just to review, how we're going to jump into this is we're going to go back over the multiplication rules. Now, I remember when I talked to you guys in class about this, I would say negative times a positive, positive times a negative, yada, yada, yada. So I'm just going to go through them again. So a negative times a positive is a negative. A positive times a negative is a negative. These two are the exact same thing. If you remember the commutative property, order does not matter. So they're the exact same thing. You should get the same answer. A positive times a positive is a positive. A negative times a negative is a positive. So a way to push you guys a little bit further is to identify that if you have an odd number of negative numbers, the answer is going to be negative. Same can be said if you have an even number of negatives, then it's going to be positive. Why? Well, because if you have an odd amount, you're always going to end up with one negative per one positive. And if you end up with a positive amount, you're always going to end up with two negatives. So two negatives will equal a positive. So that's how we're going to jump into the second problem. So let's go over the first problem first. So do the first one. 3 times negative 7. 3 is a positive number, so I'm going to put a positive number on top. And negative 7 is a negative number, so I'm going to put a negative there. A positive times a negative is a negative. Now it's just 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is negative 21. Okay, now let's work on the next one. So we have a positive and a negative. So if you're working along with me, let's just go through and label all of number 1. So we have a positive and a negative here. We have a negative and a positive here. We have a negative and a negative here. And then we have a negative and a negative here. So then let's all go through the signs. So the positive times the negative is a negative, right? Match it to there. A negative times a positive, which is the first one, is a negative again. And then a negative times a negative is a positive. And a negative times a negative is a positive. Now, all you have to do at this point is literally just do the multiplication. So we have 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. We have 1 times 7 because we already did the negative out. So 1 times 7 is 7, so it's negative 7. Here, we have 2 times 7. 2 times 7 is 14, right? That one's not very clear. Let me fix that for you. So this is 14. Now, negative times a negative is a positive. Negative 3 times negative 7 is positive 21. And that's it for number 1. Straightforward, right to the point. Now, the next problems, you're going to have to think a little bit harder. So that's where this statement right here is going to play a crucial role on identifying what the sign of these problems are. So, honestly, all I want you to do for these next ones is to look at them and say, well, okay, let's count how many negatives there are. Is there an even amount or a negative amount? Is there an even amount or an odd amount? Okay? So, let's go ahead and let's do that. So, we have negative 3 and 9. That is odd. So, there's 1. Here, we have negative 5 and negative 6. That's 2. That's even. So label it odd, even. You have a negative, and a negative. That is 3 negatives. 3 is odd. Now, you have a negative 8 and a negative 5. That is 2. That is an even amount. So now you have negative 1 and negative 6. That is an even amount. So that is 2. Now we have 4. Negative 3, negative 4, negative 3, negative 1. That is 4 negative numbers. That means it's 4 and it's even. Now, what did I say about if it's even or odd? Well, refer back to the middle here. If there is an odd number, the answer is going to be negative. So in the answer, write negative. Here, it's even, so the answer is positive. Here, it's odd, so write the answer negative. Here, it's even, write the answer positive. Here, it's even, write the answer positive. Here, it's even, write the answer positive. So now, just multiply them across like there is no negatives in this at all. So, 3 times 9 is 27. Your answer is negative 27. Next one, 5 times 6 is positive 30. 3. So we know the answer is going to be negative. So negative 2 times negative 4 is 14. Oh, sorry, my math's wrong. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. Positive 8 times negative 7 is negative 56. We have 2 times 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 40 times 2 is 80. So the answer is positive 80. Then we have negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Like I said, you can do it straight across using the top rules, or you can just count the even or the odd. Both will give you the exact same answer. So the last one, negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. Positive 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. Negative 36 times negative 1 is positive 36. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to show the multiplication on the bottom for the bigger problems. So from here down. So negative 2 times negative 4 is equal to positive 8. Positive 8 times negative 7 is equal to negative 56. So I'm just thinking out loud and I'm modeling the process for you. 2 times negative 8 is negative. So how I did this one is I did negative 8 times negative 5. Negative 8 times negative 5 is positive 40. And then positive 40 times 2 is positive 80. Here we had negative 1 times 2 equals negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 6 is equal to positive 12. So that's just how I did my process for you, just to make it a little bit easier so you could follow what I did. So like always, if you have questions, go on my YouTube channel. There is a Zoom meet. It has the same code. I am on from 1 to 1:30 every single day. If you have questions on any of these problems, on problems 3 and 4, which is what you're supposed to do on your own for today, meet me in my office hours. Or send me a message on Dojo. I always respond on Dojo if you've sent me a message. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'm here. I'm waiting. So let me know. We will start on Monday with page 9 of the packet. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here. If I see you today, I'll see you later. And shout out to everybody who's contacted me so far. Thank you. Bye, guys.